Hello, everybody. It is a busy Tuesday morning in Raid. A lot of stuff to cover, so I'm going to jump right into it. We are on the free to play. Okay, so I have gotten all the way up to the stopping point that I mentioned in the missions. Most of them were easy, but Spider was very hard. When I did Spider 14 on the free to play. It was very long and it was not 100%. So, I just don't really have a team for Spider in the traditional sense right now. Um, I just used my best champions basically and did what we could, and we would lose some, but we were winning enough that I was able to grind through it and get it done. We have a ton of energy right now. That's just because Clan v Clan's going on. I've already been hard at work on Clan v Clan this morning. You'll see my clan currently has a huge lead. I'm not saying that that's, anything can happen. It's Clan v Clan. Um, but you will see that I already put up 20K on the free to play. Um, and oh yeah, I think we're gonna crush this clan. No offense to them, but they have a lot of missing people. Um, on top of the fact that we have a lot of big, not spenders, but big people that put up big points. Um, okay, so yeah, I this is all of it was from I spent all my books this morning. So Coffin Smasher is now not even fully booked up. That's insane. He requires too many books. We were able to get two from the missions. We got two extra legendary books, put them in Sun Wukong. He now has a cooldown reduction on his A3, which is going to make him even stronger. And then I booked out my Ursula as much as I could because she is going to be my next 6 star. She is very book heavy. She likes to read. So spent quite a few there. Now that I'm in here, I can remember that I wanted to throw in these extra armigers. So now my armiger is completely booked out. Um, and she gets me a thing. Um, I need to sit down and do some of these. That's a free void that I missed and I could have got during the void event. So that's disappointing. I haven't looked at those in a minute. You can see I have spent a ton of my resources here. Um, Even fortress keys. I've only been like mildly toying around with the Iron Twins fortress, but I'm actually able to do stage 3, which I'm pretty impressed with myself about. So that's really good. That's going to come in handy as more events keep coming along for um, opening and getting soul stones. So I'm not going to go too deep into it. Well, actually, we're not going to talk about soul stones at all, but I am going to try and keep it focused on like what's important to me at this stage and not necessarily what's going to be far down the future. But you do get good clan v clan points from doing that dungeon, and the fact that I was able to do it um, at level 3 was pretty good, and it generated some extra clan v clan points for me. So I still have 600 energy, um, and I wonder if I'm probably gonna get more books here. Yeah, I'll get another book towards the end. We're almost. We'll definitely hit that as a clan this time around. We are only tier 1 right now, but that's just mostly because a lot of my big clan v clan point creators have departed the clan, and so we've got a lot of people that are on free to play accounts and trying to figure out how to generate points. But it's all about saving those resources. I don't even have great haul points to spend, but if I did, that would generate a bunch of resources too. So the books, being able to save those books is a big deal, and some of those I spent some books, or I did upgrade somebody. I remember spending some of my resources outside of the regular amount. But okay. What else is going on the account? So I moved some gear around. I swapped gear between Sun Wukong and Kale. Sun Wukong is going to hit harder in PvP and Wave Clear, which is where I need him to be hitting hard. So I changed some of his gear around and some of his stats. So we've got him He is 102% crit rate, 161 crit damage now. That's a big boost. All 3,700 attack. Um, he hits very, very hard now, especially with the books into him. Um, Kale has a little bit more accuracy now. That's the one thing. I had to sacrifice a lot of accuracy on Sun Wukong. Despite having an accuracy banner, I'm not going to put that to 16. Despite having that banner, he is I sacrificed a lot of accuracy to be able to get him to that level now. And that's even with accuracy here. So, um, but he is going to be my PvP nuker, and I need that to stay in gold, which I'll show you in a little bit. Deacon, I basically enchanted all of Deacon's gear. He has the best possible gear that I want on him. Uh, Aside from the accuracy set that Coffin Smasher is using, there's really no gear that I would want that I have to replace this stuff at the moment. I think this shield, despite being a 4-star, has both speed and accuracy. There was no other comparable perception shield that I could have replaced it with. Hopefully, I'll craft some better shields today. But you'll see, like, this is a great shield, but we don't have any extra speed or accuracy on it, so I'd be giving up 12 speed for stats in other areas, which that I don't really care about. Crit rate, crit damage, resistance, not a priority. For this guy. If I go here, if I upgrade this shield, I would lose a lot of my speed, and speed is the big thing that I want on him because he needs to be super fast. So right now his stats, he's 192 speed. I'm really happy with that speed. That's going to get him going first in arena most of the time, not all the time, but it's been working out very well for us. I've got Ursula built. Um, Obviously, I just booked her before this video, so I really don't know the impact of that. She is at 183 speed, so she does go after Deacon. I had her at 191 speed, and she was too fast because she had the speed set. So she actually ended up, even at a slower speed with double speed set, she ended up going faster than Deacon, which was frustrating. So I had to bump her speed down a little bit in order to keep her effective. So at 183 speed, she does go before my nukers. So now Sun Wukong goes second and Kale goes last. Now you may wonder, like, how did these changes affect other areas of the game? So if we go look at some of the other areas of the game, um, Clan Boss, it actually helped. So on Nightmare, I've only run one key. I ran it on Nightmare. I did almost 10 million. Now that's not going to be enough to 4 key. I know you're like, well, you only need to do 40 million. How is that not enough to 4 key? It's not enough because eventually, when I use the later keys, the affinity will change, and I really need to be in a better comfort zone as far as being able to do that type of damage across all the keys. Because if once if I can build a cushion, like let's say I do 15 million, um, and then I do 8 million on the last two keys, right? Then I so if I do 15 million on the first two, that's 30 million, and then I do 8 million on the last two keys. Well, now we're at 46 million, right? So that would be fine. But that's just a random example of numbers that I threw out there. But my point is that you can't guarantee that you're going to do the same amount of damage against a different affinity than Void later on. So even if I could squeeze out an extra 300,000 damage, still not, I think, what we want. Um, One thing about Ursula going into Clan Boss, I tested her last night in Brutal. It was a fail. Not a, I well, it was a fail because I didn't get max chest from Brutal last night. I didn't think she would hold me back that much if I used her, but she did. A couple of notes about that for myself, but also for you guys to learn from my mistakes. Um, is that obviously she's not 6 stars, which is a huge amount of stats. But second of all, and most importantly, Um, Not being 6 star meant she had no masteries. So she has no masteries. That means we're not getting War Master procs, or in Apothecary's case, Giant Slayer procs. So she did like he does about six to 700,000 damage. She did 60,000 damage. So very drastic difference in damage. Now obviously she's boosting the damage of everyone around her, so it's okay if she does a little bit less, but to do that much less is a very big impact. Once we get her with War Master and a couple of other buffs and abilities that can get her possibly rotating her cooldowns faster and things like that, uh, I'll try her again and see if it makes a difference. But Apothecary just may be the best option for clan boss, and that's okay. Ursula is one of the reasons I was able to find success in um, Iron Twins, because she brings that increased defense and that strengthen, which once we get masteries too, that we can increase the duration of those buffs potentially. So a lot of good things once she gets leveled up. Speaking of leveling up, I do have one food ready to go. I've got the second food um, right here ready to get boosted, only waiting on one more 4 star. So I'd say, especially with all the energy that we got today, we're getting pretty close to being able to get her up there. We just keep pulling mystery shards and grinding our way through. So um, that's basically what my energy is going to go to today, is just doing uh, campaign and farming up my Ursula and getting her to 6 stars, and then getting her leveled back up. So um, we do have another summoning pool event. Now, I previously have been a fan of these for free to play. This one I'm a little less a fan of. Yes, it's much cheaper to summon, which is great. However, the champions you have access to are much weaker, given that you have the potential to get uh, a rare, um, and some of these rares are not even. I mean, getting a frozen banshee would be pretty cool for most accounts, um, including mine. But yeah, it's just one of those situations where, um, obviously miscreated Rector Drath would be huge. Um, We already have Husk. Seeker is amazing just in general. Would love to get a Seeker, absolutely. And these are good legendaries. Pretty much all of them are great legendaries. The biggest issue is that there's only a 3% chance to pull any of them, so not great odds. Um, and you have to get the Prism Shards, which are already proving to be difficult. Now, we do have a really great event in the Fusion warm up event, um, but that's not even going to be enough to pull one prism or one Crystal shard. Uh, so that's very disappointing. However, you do get a lot of Halloween points, which is really good. On the Titan event, if I can, there it is. Um, Making pretty good progress. I'm pretty sure if I can complete the which is very easy to do, by the way, if I complete the fusion prep event, I will get that second star for Sun Wukong. 3 star is what I'm really hoping for if I can fight my way to it. I don't know that I will be able to. We still have over a week, so it's very possible, but that 3 star is very important. 4 star would be great, but 3 star is arguably better in the sense that when you get that third star, uh, that's when you unlock the next stage of the ability. The 4 star gives me really good stats that I would absolutely love. I just don't think that that's something I'm going to be able to grind to on a free to play account, just because the points have been hidden behind very difficult challenges. So right now the Fire Knight turn attack tournament. This is again where you can get some of those Titan points, but you can also get uh, shards for the crystal. Or what are these? It doesn't matter. It's where you can get more crystal shards to summon during this summoning pool event. Um, but you can only use Demon Spawn, Undead Horde, Dark Elves, and Knights Rev. Now, if we go look at my roster, which I love this feature now, this was not always a thing. We go to Demon Spawn, Undead Hordes, Dark Elves, and Knights Rev. So this is the best team that I would be able to come up with. And this is not, I mean, Coffin Smasher is good, but and Kale's good, but Husk is not really meant to be. He does have a two-time hitter, but he's not really meant to be a uh, champion for the Fire Knight. And then obviously these two are very low and, in my opinion, not worth really upgrading or improving the stats on. And even if I did put that team together and run the highest possible difficulty, it would likely be something in the range of, let's say, like 8, maybe 9, maybe stage 7, somewhere in there. And the argument is, well, you could do a lot of runs if you do it quickly in low turns, you can generate a lot of points, and that's absolutely true. But then I'm also getting gear that I don't want. I'm honestly at the point where I kind of don't want 4-star gear. I really want 5 and 6-star gear at this point because I'm challenged by the content that I'm doing at this point is so much greater and so much more challenging. I'm getting a little bit more of a solid position in gold with those changes that I made to my characters as far as moving the gear around and stuff. But I still need to hit hard in those areas, and I still need to keep my champions alive. Now, while I am running Ursula now instead of Spirit Host, which helps a little bit, um, we're still not not really. A, I still have to be very particular about who I fight in Gold One, and um, as I guess as it should be, but we've only got a 60% win rate right now, and we really need to be getting a little bit more than that because the next I the next thing that I have to do is to upgrade this to level 7. I need 700 of the gold tokens to do that, and um no amount of silver will make up for that. It has to be gold. So uh in order so it means I just flat out means I need to do gold arena, and doing it at gold 1 is already going to take forever, let alone when you consider uh the fact that I might get demoted out of gold 1 every now and then. So we really need to kind of work a little bit. PvP is becoming a bigger focus right now, just for mission's sake. After I do that, I will skip through quite a few of these missions, but because I do have a lot of the keeps already upgraded to that amount, and I also have a lot more champions. Like having Ursula will help with the potion keeps quite a bit. So enough about that. We talked about Clan v Clan. We talked about the points I put up. So this event overall, I wouldn't sacrifice a lot of your resources to do. Yes, there's a good chance to get good epics, good legendaries, and good rares. There's also, I mean, imagine if you pulled Temptress, and I'm not saying she's like especially bad or anything like that. It's just she was the first one that I saw that I was like, I don't think this is a good, I don't know what this champion is or what they do. Um, I do know I think Steel Bowyer is not one that I really use. Although I think she's a secret. No, yeah, I think she's kind of a hidden gem because she does do enemy max HP. But I think Armagine is definitely, yeah, not a champion that I'm like super excited to get. Obviously, pulling somebody like Magnar would be huge. That's a PvP nuker. Allure is one of the best Fire Knight champions in the game. If I was to pull an Allure, that would be huge. So I'm not going to say no to pulling these Prism Shards. It's more so the fact that right now they're hidden behind an extremely difficult event for my account that would be pretty wasteful for me to chase after. Maybe I could try and go for the 1300 points, but again, the end result is such bad gear on my account that I don't want. Um, and I'm suspecting if we look at the tournaments, the Sand Devil turn attack comes up soon too. That's probably going to have the prism shards and stuff in it, and that's another one that I don't really think that I'm going to be able to do at an effective enough level um, to grind out those areas. So I'll be spending my energy just grinding my champions up. Um, let's see. We talked about me moving. Oh, my campaign farmer. Let me show you guys. So now I have Sun Wukong as my campaign farmer. Big difference. I don't think I've shown enough clips for you guys to really see what Kale was doing. Um, but Kale was much slower than Sun Wukong, which we knew. You know, people commented a lot on my choice of Kale as my starter and my argument that he's a good campaign farmer and everything like that. Um, he's a suitable campaign farmer, but he's nowhere near the best. Even Sun Wukong is nowhere near the best. However, uh, Sun Wukong is certainly better than Kale, and it's beneficial to me now that he's 6 stars. Now that he has all of the, he's got more books in him. He's got more um, better gear, and we're able to use him as the campaign farmer. So you'll see he does it in 4 hits, um, which is a 13-second time, which is much faster than what I was getting out of Kale. At least my regular amount out of Kale. And a big part of that is because of the books. He was previously doing it in 5 turns, which added only a couple seconds, but it is a couple seconds. Um, and that was because he when I landed that book today on the cooldown, so he would do that 1 hit and then he would do a second single hit and then the AoE. But now he goes straight into the AoE. So the books matter. Um, Obviously, it doesn't make a huge difference, but I still stand by my decision that Kale is the better starter because you're able to fully ascend him. Um, and you're able to use him to farm up all the ascension resources for your other champions and things like that. So resources matter, but right now Sun Wukong is just so much quicker for me, and I'm very excited and happy about that. Um, and I'm also very surprised. I was worried that making the changes to their gear would actually hurt Clan Boss, but the fact that it kind of may have potentially improved my Clan Boss damage is very satisfying to see. We have a ton of gems right now. That's all because we did those missions that I talked about that gave me a bunch of gems. Um, I do need to start going through and fixing my tag team arena teams right now. The main reason because I still have Spirit Host in the old team. Um, Doom Tower. So Doom Tower rotated. I almost forgot to do it, but I did do Doom Tower. You'll see I even got the secret room done. Um, and we did get the uh, the Griffin down. I thought about possibly farming uh, the Griffin. So if we go to reward info, you'll see he does drop some stats. His gear, the Griffin's gear, is really good. If we come to the forge here and we go and we look at Guardian gear, where absorbs 10% of all damage dealt to ally champions, heals by 10% every turn. This is really good gear for Clan Boss. It's kind of like a mini ally protect built into the gear. So I thought about potentially farming that, but the he would only give me these, so it just wasn't really worth it to farm him. Now it might be worth it to try and complete the advanced quest for using 5 silver keys. That's going to get me even closer to this extra legendary book right here, which I'm almost at. So, in fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll do that off camera. I'll put in those, just use 5 keys in against that boss, and then I can real quickly go do uh, the classic arena with 4 different affinities. I'll lose that fight, but I can go knock that out real quick, and then I also get this some more resources here. I don't normally finish my advanced quests just because of where my account is. Some of them are quests that are harder for me to do, but in this particular instance, I'm able to identify that I can do them, so I should do them. Um, this is surprisingly went faster. I felt like I had way more stuff to talk about. Um, there is a fusion coming up. It's a fragment fusion, which is one of the easier ones, but the champion does not look very good. Um, there may be some features about his kit that will benefit him in the current PvP meta, but it's not a champion that is going to make a difference on my account where I'm currently at. Uh, so I will not be going for that fusion. Um, really happy to generate 20,000 Clan v Clan points right out the gate. Also, really excited to get these rings if we can possibly get them. That's going to help for Scarab boss in the future. So we need to kind of hope that the clan keeps this up. But it's looking pretty good right now. This is probably going to be one of our biggest victories in a while. This clan just seems to be a little short on people. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There isn't too much else that I can think of. Like I was excited to talk about. I don't know why it does that sometimes. This event, and give my take on it. Um, I don't think I'm gonna be able to even pull one of these. I'm able to pull one on the free to play, but I don't want to. It's gonna force me to. It's this is this could be such a great free to play mechanic, and I've proven that before. Um, and they really kind of it's really kind of just wasted with the current way that they're doing it. It's very disappointing. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything on the. Oh, I will be doing a bunch of forging. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten far enough in Faction Wars to really get some really high quality pieces out of this, but I will nonetheless be doing the forging, including instinct gear. I am going to forge the instinct gear. Who knows? Maybe we get a good set that we could put on my Sun Wukong. So I'm gonna end the video here. Get back to grinding. Honestly, probably go take a nap, but I will be doing a lot of grinding, um, pretty much all day. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.